All right, so we're back talking today with Marilyn Harper about I can do anything if only I knew what it was. And a little bit before in the conversation in our last segment, we were talking about the Akashic Records and how we can access, or how Adironda and Company can access your, how you said it, the past, your present, and your future. And maybe what was blocking you from, living your life purpose or your essence. And so my question is, do they ever discover, or is it even true that this can happen where an entity or something is blocking you? Or is it something like an act, is it something that happened in our lives, or is there some, outside influence keeping you down?
I do know that sometimes an entity or an energy from, I hate to get into that, even the dark or whatever, can sort of hold you energetically down. I try to get rid of that stuff right off the bat so they don't control things. But more cases than not, a person's had an experience, had a situation, had an energy, had something happen in this lifetime or any other lifetime that had an imprint. And it's my belief that everything that happened in any other lifetime, you are going through the same thing now, only with a different scenario, but the same emotional impact. In other words, if you are abandoned and you have this fear that that everyone that loves you is going to abandon you, then because in 27,000 before BC,
some ancient time.
Yeah, your family abandoned you, and you were left isolated, and you died because of that, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you repeat that pattern actually every 7 years until you get it. And once you get it, once you say, "Oh," and you have an epiphany, and you release it so it integrates that pattern or that imprint or habit, addiction, whatever, integrates completely into your cells. In other words, we don't pull things out, but it integrates so it's not in charge of your decision-making process. Then you're free to have relationships without fear of abandonment. Does that explain it? And so people that, the party games, what was I in the past life? And it's really not
Jesus, of course. I was Jesus, of course.
Of course. It wasn't everybody. Oh, no. Some people were Mary.
Oh, that's true.
And if they weren't Mary and Jesus, they were John the Baptist or Cleopatra.
Exactly.
They were never... They were never the street sweeper that was cleaning up after Cleopatra.
Yes, the slave building the pyramids.
Right.
Yeah. I know my bones are in those pyramids somewhere.
Probably a lot of our bones are.
I'm sure they are. But sometimes just finding out, and it's not about what you have done in a past life, it's only the imprint of that continues to be in control until you understand it.
Till you wake up to it.
Exactly. Once you wake up to it, then it mystically releases, and it's not in control of you any longer. I mean, mystically releases. You don't even have to, in the olden days, before 2012,
long ago.
It was so long, but you had to go through a whole process and go through the whole song and dance and the whole drama of it and weep and wail and the birthing experiences and blah, blah, blah.
And talk about it ad nauseum.
Yeah, exactly. Now, thank you, God, it is, you get it, you see it, you understand it, you see how that imprint was created, see where it is still in control in your life, and it dissipates. It
Boom, it's
just
gone.
dissipates. Exactly. And the habit may still be present, meaning when say if you have an addictive personality, say that your imprint is that you're addicted to a relationship that's not available. Okay, many people go through their lives picking relationships with people that are really not emotionally or physically or mentally available for a relationship, and that may date back 18,000 years or 5,000 years or whatever, and they continue to do that. But once they get it, and their cells in their body are still looking for the familiar. They're still your cells always will return to something that was before, because that's familiar. But your consciousness realizes that I've changed that habit, I've changed that pattern. So then at a moment when you're in a crowded room and you see someone across the way and your cells are going, look at that person, and your mind is going, I don't think so. So that's when you have that shift of consciousness. And when you make the decision to go with the I don't think so part, that shifts the whole cellular program. You see what we're saying?
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
It's really interesting because I've seen this happen with people time and time again, right? They've struggled with the same things over and over again, even in my own life. Looking back, of course, when you get into your 50s, you have a lot of years to look back over, and you can see how some patterns have repeated themselves.
Yes.
So I can see why that would be. It was just a curiosity I had about whether or not we get interfered with by entities, or I don't know what else to call them, energies from other dimensions and that kind of thing.
I do believe that is possible. I know there's a lot of people that believe that, I am the light, so therefore nothing but the light can possibly affect me. And I know I'm the light, but sometimes I've been affected, and I know that it's possible, and I don't ever like to dwell on that much because it gives it more energy.
Right, right.
The sun just came out. Can you tell?
It did get, the purple got brighter.
And but I do think that there are entities, there are situations where maybe you were around a sorcerer and they actually cast a spell on you for all of eternity that your energy is still operating under until you stop that spell.
Break the connection kind of thing?
Break the connection, exactly. There may be an entity, in my belief, the light defines the dark and the dark defines the light. And there may be an entity that was attached to you at some point in time that you have not completely gotten rid of. And that it's a really good idea to get rid of that. And block your energy field, in protection in this dimension, in the new days since 2012. I see. Used to, we would protect ourselves with a bubble of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I see a pyramid, actually an octahedron, like two pyramids stacked on top of each other of crystalline energy now. And I ask that anything that comes out of someone else that is not working in my highest good hits the side of that pyramid, slides up to the top, and is transmuted through the violet flame of Saint Germain. And I also ask that anytime there's any energy or entity that is testing my energy protection, that my system automatically, I don't even have to be conscious of it, automatically responds with bolstering up that protection. And I do that when people, I'm one of those real huggy, lovey people. People love to hug me. and sometimes I feel that force field, it's a force field, go up when that happens, and I want it to happen automatically. I don't want it to be something that I have to consciously think about. And I set that in place many years ago, and it works very effectively.
Nice. So you feel the force field sort of go up when maybe there's something not quite energetically matching with the person that you're hugging?
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha.
That's correct. And many times, as I'm sure, when you're out in public, and you too, Roger, when you're out and about, because you're such high vibration of people, people want to put their hands on you. Oh, let me rub your shoulders, or let me do energy work for you, because they sense your vibration. And sometimes I feel that force field go up, when they first, touch me. And I want that. Not that I want to dishonor what they're doing and their purpose and their joy in their own life.
Right.
But, I just feel that I honor all beings. I honor the entities. I honor who they are. I know they serve a purpose, but I don't want them moving through my body.
They're not on your purpose this lifetime.
They're not on my purpose this lifetime. I know I can do anything, and I know what it is I'm here to do.
And it's not let them hang around.
Thank God there's one of us.
That's true. Good one, Roger. Because I think there probably are a lot of people out there wandering around that don't know what their purpose is. I think you've given them some really interesting things to work with today. We're getting close to the end of our show here today with you. So I want to give you an opportunity to share what's going on with you, what classes you're doing. You spoke of something going on in Sarasota. The I Can Do Anything If Only I Knew What It Was. So give us a little rundown of what Marilyn does, and I think you have an offer or something you want to pass on to our listeners.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Share that with us.
I would love to. My website is Adironda, ADIRONNDA.com. And I do a monthly double-digit transmission. It's video online. We have people all over the planet that join us live, and then if you're not live, you get it through a replay. And we do that every month on the double digit, the 3-3, the 4-4. I would like to invite everyone who listens to this in the next month to send me an email at info. Let's do info. Somebody else checks that. Info, INFO, at Adironda.com, and mention Empower You with Janet Hickox, and I will invite you free to the March transmission of the double digit, and I will send you a downloadable version of one of my favorite recordings that we've done. It's called Creation, and it was recorded live at a Love the Life You Live the Life You Love seminar that I facilitated, and the whole energy of the transmission of the musical recording is about finding your true essence, about loving who you are and living that love. And I played it in my car for 6 weeks, and I got a business partner out of the deal.
Nice.
Right.
And I will send them that downloadable recording, and I will invite them, if they email info at Adironda, in the subject line, they have to say Empower You. And this is a good, I don't know, does this go in, does your show replay indefinitely?
It's evergreen. It is definitely evergreen.
Okay, so then whenever I get that email, they will be invited to the very next double digit.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And tell us about the class, the I Can Do Anything If Only I Knew What It Was. I know, Sarasota, you must be doing that really soon.
Yes, I'm doing that in February 21st of this year, and that is in Sarasota, Florida, in conjunction with Cryon. And the class is actually called Mythbusters for the New Human.
Oh, yes.
But it's actually I Can Do Anything If Only I Knew What It Was. And I'm doing
That's on our website, too.
Yes, it's on our website, too. And I'm doing that in Portland, Maine on April the 10th, I believe. 9th, 10th is Sunday of that weekend, and with Cryon as well. I hope to be doing it in Canada next year.
Or come to Washington. That's where
I
we
come
are,
to
Washington.
Yes, Washington State.
The state.
Yes.
The great
I
state
love
of Washington.
State.
Yes.
I love it. I go up to Anacortes, Washington every once in a while.
Well, that's where
where we
Roger's
are.
office is.
Are you kidding?
No.
And I live not far from Anacortes.
It is a small. That's how you know Diane.
I've known Diane for many a year.
I love this world. So anyway,
it's getting smaller by the minute.
I also have a conference, which I really want to mention. There's not much on our website about it right now, but the dates are September 15th through the 18th. It's a Visionaries in Light Convergence in Denver, Colorado. It is at the Westin Westminster Hotel, and it is a convergence of visionaries. It's people that are making a difference in this world, and they all converge together. It's like the spiritual family you haven't met yet all attend this conference, and it's so much fun. It's a conference like no other conference you've ever experienced. We have music, we have song, we have dance. It's an experience. That's what the people that attend every year, they say this is an experience that they wouldn't miss, and that's in September. So.
Hey, Roger,
Great.
we should go do our show from there.
We should.
Take it live on the road.
There you go. Absolutely.
Okay. We can do that.
Denver in September. I'm sure it's beautiful.
There you go. So, Marilyn, can you share with us any closing thoughts or a takeaway message?
I think that in closing, I would just say, if you don't believe that you know who you are, remember somewhere inside you really do. And it's time to get out of your own way. And if you have this big lofty dream that you would like to accomplish and you wonder why you were given that dream, know that that dream is still possible. And it's never too late, and that you're never given anything that you cannot accomplish. And my job is to just help you do that.
Well, thank you so much, awesome. Marilyn. It's been awesome having you here today.
Yeah.
And keep doing your Bette Midler and your divine spark plug work, because it's obviously working. We need you out there.
Well, I'll go on the road, and then we'll always connect with you online. How's that?
Perfect.
Good.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on Empower You. Thank you, Roger, for
Janet.
Stopping the build on your house for just the moment to be able to do this for us.
You're quite welcome. It's great to be back, and we'll see you everyone next week.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye now.